LA This Week.
I'm Anna Marcos. Operation Splash leaps into swimming pools all over LA this summer. Find out how they keep kids safe coming up.
Downtown's fashion district undergoing a renaissance of street improvements, new trees, sidewalk repairs, so much more. But what do local stakeholders have to say about this? I'm Gil Reyes with a story next.
These young students have taken a pledge. I'm Rasha Goel. Up next, find out what they're committing to.
Hello and welcome to LA This Week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Yana Kay. This month marks the 50th anniversary of Senator Robert Kennedy's assassination in Los Angeles. Two activists who were there returned to the location to discuss what the senator was really like. Gil Reyes has more.
Farm labor leader Dolores Huerta was there the night Senator Robert Kennedy was assassinated. That's her on the left of your screen, moments before the presidential contender was gunned down at LA's Ambassador Hotel.
My thanks to all of you, and now it's on to Chicago, and let's win there.
Kennedy had just won the California primary. Huerta remembers him.
Very authentic when he spoke to people, and you looked at Robert, and he was listening. He was listening, and I think that's what people felt, that there was somebody that really cared about them, somebody that could understand them, somebody that was willing to help them.
Huerta returned to the scene of the crime 50 years later to talk about RFK's legacy. The former Ambassador Hotel, now the Robert F. Kennedy Community Schools in Koreatown. The campus hosted the panel and a social justice exhibit to mark the anniversary.
He was able to go to blacks and whites in South Africa, go to Mississippi and see the hunger of black children starving, and come to Delano to meet with the farm workers.
Former Kennedy aide Paul Schrade was also here that night. That's Schrade. He survived a gunshot wound to the head. The shooter, Sirhan Sirhan, was arrested and remains behind bars. Kennedy died in the hospital 26 hours later. Could he have been president? Could he have ended the Vietnam War earlier and prevented the deaths of more U.S. servicemen? We will never know. But LA City Councilman David Rue says we can still share his vision.
For a shared and equal America. Because that vision is here, in this room, and it's in all of us to carry the torch forward.
In Koreatown, I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
The last words uttered by Robert Kennedy before losing consciousness were, "Is everybody okay?" Well, turning now to LGBTQ Heritage Month, and outside of LA This Week, there's another news source that says newsroom diversity results in better stories. Well, that's according to one openly gay veteran journalist, one of several honorees at City Hall. Gil Reyes has more.
You wear it well.
LA City's 3 openly gay elected leaders stand proudly as the world's longest free-flowing pride flag makes its way around council chambers. It's LGBT Heritage Month at City Hall.
We're overrepresented in the military. We're overrepresented in the arts and culture. We're overrepresented in business. And it's always been like that, but traditionally we've lived in the shadows.
Not Hollywood's Councilman Mitch O'Farrell. He is out and proud. So are LA City Controller Ron Galperin, seen here with his husband, Rabbi Zachary Shapiro. Also Silicon Beach Councilman Mike Bonin. Together, they honor other standouts in the gay community, like KPCC journalist John Raby.
Although we lost his voice on a regular basis on the radio, except for those pledge drives, we are blessed that he's taking his talent and nurturing everybody else.
Raby is stepping down as host of the popular program Off Ramp to work behind the scenes, while advising the station's younger reporters. Raby says he supports diversity in journalism to get the full scoop.
And by a really wonderful coincidence, a diverse newsroom is also going to come up with better, more exciting stories. And that means a bigger audience. I don't think it's an accident. The KPCC has grown to 900,000 listeners at the same time that our newsroom has become one of the most diverse in the nation. And I'm proud to be a part of it.
Also honored is Tamika Butler, Executive Director of the LA Neighborhood Land Trust. The trust pushes for more green space in park-poor communities. Butler says her award is significant.
Especially for folks of color, seeing representation that the queer community isn't, just, white men, that we're here too and we matter.
The city's Cultural Affairs Department unveils the LGBT Heritage Month program. On the cover is the Bill Rosendahl Memorial Lifeguard Tower, honoring the late city councilman. Check out all the events to celebrate the month at culturela.org. I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Other honorees included Patrick Marston and Michael Brunt. The couple designed the Rosendahl Pride Lifeguard Tower. It's now a permanent fixture on Venice Beach. And over in Hollywood, the Hollywood Museum honored performers, shining a positive spotlight on the LGBTQ community. Gil Reyes takes us to one tribute co-hosted by Councilman Mitch O'Farrell.
The Hollywood Museum celebrates LGBT Heritage Month with an exhibit called Real to Real, Perception of Gays in Hollywood, honoring LGBT performers, actors who've played gay characters, and icons within the community.
We have a certain responsibility to never ever back down, to never ever forget who paved the way for us.
First up, TV's original Catwoman. Actress Julie Newmar says Batman's femme fatale on the campy 60s series, though not gay, is a symbol of feistiness for anyone who's ever felt excluded.
And that my legacy is not only an artistic one, but one of feminine strength, power, and let's never forget, fun.
Also honored, actress Stephanie Beatrice, who identifies as bisexual. Her character on the show Brooklyn Nine-Nine has also come out as bi.
First to her chosen family at work, who fully accepted her with loving arms, and then second to her Latino family, who did not. That storyline reflected very closely what happened in my own life, and by being able to share that so publicly, and not only publicly but on a network television show, was so important to me.
These days, real-life AIDS activist Allison Arngrim stars in the series Life Interrupted. She played spoiled brat Nellie Olson on TV's Little House on the Prairie.
It's a fun, wonderful show, but it also presents a gay couple, straight characters and gay characters interacting together in a positive, happy, uplifting way. Which, wouldn't that be a nice thing for that to happen to everyone?
And LA City leaders here to support.
And then Hollywood itself has been this vehicle by which so much of the rest of America and the rest of the world has learned about members of the LGBT community, has mainstreamed us.
Bringing us strength, bringing us courage, bringing us pride.
From the Hollywood Museum, I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
The museum's Real to Real exhibit is on display till late September. It's co-sponsored by Christopher Street West, a nonprofit within the LGBT community. Well, how do you go about improving life in the 9th District? Well, empower women, of course. That's the thinking behind Councilmember Curran Price's 3rd annual Latina Conference, which attracted hundreds of attendees. Ana Marcos takes us there.
Nothing like a little salsa to get this Latina Conference off on the right foot. This is the 3rd year Councilmember Curran Price puts on the free event to empower Latina women of all ages, colors, and walks of life in his district. By the way, boys are welcome too. And it seems you're never too young to start empowering yourself.
I'm going to learn that women are powerful and we can also help with the world.
We're really just trying to encourage women of all ages to step up, be all they can be. And I think that's the message we want to really convey. That it's important to have a dream, important to stick to that dream, not give up.
The conference provides training, workshops, a job fair, and a chance to spend time with Latina movers and shakers who are impacting their own communities. People like Rosie Rivera, a TV personality and advocate on women's issues, as well as Stephanie Jimenides, a Telemundo host.
This kind of event helps them know how to improve themselves and become successful.
Marian Rosa finally tagged along after hearing about the event from her daughter and mother, who come every year. As for what she learned,
it'll be that regardless of our color, regardless of us being women, being minority, we can still make a difference. We can still be great in life.
I've had a couple of folks tell me that they were able to interview with the at the job fair and have an interview for employment. And so we're real happy that that occurred. And that's the kind of connection we want to try to make.
Thanks to this event, hundreds of women come away with a few more of those connections, a little more knowledge, bigger dreams, and, in some cases, even a new job. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
Getting to school safely comes with responsibility, both for parents and children. Rasha Goel has more on how young kids are showing their commitment to pedestrian safety.
Pledge as a good pedestrian.
I pledge as a good pedestrian
to always look left. And then continue crossing the street.
They have it down. Students from 6 elementary schools took the Walk Wise LA Pedestrian Safety Pledge, committing themselves to practicing safety rules when it comes to crossing the street.
I think it's important because you always need to be careful and to not get run over.
It's all part of a program called Vision Zero, the city's plan to eliminate traffic fatalities through engineering, planning, and education. While the city is doing their part with new lights and stop signs, officials say
ultimately, it also depends upon responsible pedestrians and responsible cyclists. And they've got to be looking out for drivers who aren't looking out.
And that's why they say it's important to start educating them earlier.
We have visited 54 schools this year. We've had 8,400 kids take the pledge with us.
Officials say in the city of Los Angeles, 19% of pedestrian accidents and 18% of fatalities or severely injured pedestrians are school children between the ages of 5 to 17. These numbers could be reduced if people pay just a little bit more attention when crossing the street. And the pledge isn't just for these young kids, it's a reminder for adults as well.
By taking this pledge today, we're asking you also to ask your parents to drive wise so that you can teach them to use the streets safely.
The goal is to visit a total of 140 schools. In downtown Los Angeles, I'm Rasha Goel for LA This Week.
Additionally, officials want to remind people not to be on their phones or have headsets on, but be attentive when crossing the street. The hub of LA's fashion industry is undergoing a style makeover. New sidewalks, lighting, and more for beautification as well. Gil Reyes has more from downtown's fashion district. Gil.
And yes, Yana, some of these street improvements have already started. You could see this curb extension on Los Angeles and 8th Street with plants that are only going to look better over time. And these improvements are expected to take place over several blocks on Los Angeles Street. Let's start with the Fashion District's 2 new curb extensions. These are curbs stretched a few extra feet to the street with drought-tolerant landscaping for a livelier look. And because there's more curb space, walking across the street takes a shorter amount of time. Hopefully this makes crossing safer.
And there's a little pedestrian level light right here, which I'm not sure I've ever seen before. A light that's only about maybe 3 or 4 feet tall. That will help delineate this as a safe crossing at night.
I just think it's Los Angeles Street kind of coming back to its glory.
The families of Lori Rosen and Lori Sale have owned properties in the Fashion District since the 1940s. The area is home to 2,000 independently owned apparel shops. Property owners are pumped over all the recent changes.
And now just seeing the new residents come in and the dogs, and it's an exciting place to be.
Community.
Yeah, it's a community, that's true.
And you know, and what they've done here is phenomenal.
The city is refurbishing 13,000 square feet of sidewalk, adding 27 new trees and more curb ramps for easier wheelchair access in the Fashion District.
Improving the sidewalks, improving the safety, putting more trees, more lighting, that helps everybody. And we cannot underestimate the importance that downtown LA plays in the economic vitality of the region. 500,000 people come to work in downtown each and every day, and there's more space for growth.
Councilman Jose Huizar and the city family celebrate this renaissance. Improvements just in the Fashion District are underway on Los Angeles Street between 7th and Olympic. I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
Other downtown communities undergoing massive street improvements include Little Tokyo and the Arts District. A $2 million grant from the group Metro Call are helping to make the Fashion District's upgrades possible. Well, lights, camera, action. The Making Movies That Matter Youth Short Film Festival is back for its 3rd year, giving LA youth new ways to express themselves and new skills for the future. Anna Marcos joins us from Cal State Northridge with more. Anna.
Yana, about 1,700 people are crowding into this theater. Among them, 1,000 young filmmakers about to watch some of their more than 100 short films they've made. And it's all part of the Making Movies That Matter Youth Short Film Festival put on by Councilmember Mitch Englander.
Of course, there's a red carpet at this film screening, and you've got to look good.
It's a really nice event. I mean, look at everyone here. They're so nice. And it would be weird to just wear pants, so I came beautiful.
But the Making Movies That Matter Youth Short Film Festival is so much more. It's about making films that mean something to these students of all grade levels and letting them have a voice. It's the reason Councilmember Mitch Englander started the event, now in its third year.
It's just amazing, and this gives them an opportunity. It's not just about, here's a deadline, submit your own film. We have artists in residence that actually work with all the kids in editing and writing and producing. It's all written and directed by the kids, and they act in it. It's all from their voice and their vision.
The students get 4 months of training and workshops on how to make movies, then they do it, which leads to this award ceremony. From movies about puppets to school misfits and best friends, to illegal immigrants, to living with diseases. No subject is off limits.
We made a movie about cystic fibrosis, which is a lung disease that I have. And we all wanted to support her and make this video to spread awareness all about it.
The story I wrote was about a Hispanic immigrant worker. And I have personal connections with that. My parents are Hispanics, and my dad was an immigrant.
It's part of me to express myself in this way because in other ways I'm not easily able to connect to and express myself with them.
And this year, a group from a homeless shelter took part, as did a program for at-risk and low-income youth and a group of disabled young adults.
Our community is also capable of doing these sorts of things as well.
But yes, it's also about who gets the award. Patrick Henry Middle School students are hoping the third time is a charm. They have won every time in the last 2 years.
I think we can win because we all put our hearts and souls into the films that we make.
And when they do, for the real-life story of a boy who has challenges walking, the theme, in spite of our differences, we are not all that different. Looks like this festival may be on a path to turning out some of LA's future filmmakers. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
More than a dozen awards were handed out for documentaries, PSAs, live action, and animated films at various grade levels. It's one of LA's biggest and most exotic weekend parties, and it's free. The 38th annual Lotus Festival is set to attract tens of thousands of visitors, and organizers want to give you a taste of what's to come. Anna Marcos shows us which country is hosting the event at Echo Park this year.
You'd swear you were in China if it wasn't for the LA skyline in the background. The Lotus Festival press luncheon with its dragon red themes is just a sneak preview of what's in store. Come July 14th and 15th, Echo Park will be transformed as the 38th annual Lotus Festival kicks off.
The lake and the entire park environment is going to be alive with culture and art and fun and music and the paddleboat races.
The festival celebrates the diversity of Asian and Pacific Islander culture, and each year a different country plays host. This year it's China.
Chinese community has contributed to the prosperity, diversity, and vitality of this great city of Los Angeles.
And Councilmember David Rue promises it will feature plenty of drama.
You can see all the red backdrop and the dragons and the dragon boat racing we are all going to participate in.
We're not sure whom he means by all, but it appears Councilmember David Rue himself will be among the intrepid dragon boat racers. But if boat races aren't your thing and you want a more mellow pastime, there's a new thing this year, a wine garden. And then there's all those lotuses to watch and new people to meet.
Without the parks, the public, has no way of, getting out and meeting their neighbors and coming out to what is a free event for a weekend, which is a beautiful cultural, a lot of diversity event.
You can start in on the fun a day early. Councilmember Mitch O'Farrell plans to throw a huge opening party at Echo Park at 6 p.m. on Friday, July 13th. Yep, Friday the 13th, but fear not. Think of all the fun as 100,000 people from all walks of life converge on the park for a little Lotus fun. I'm Anna Margos for LA This Week.
The Lotus Festival will be open from noon to 9 p.m. on both Saturday, July 14th and Sunday, July 15th at Echo Park. Well, it's a way to build healthier communities and give kids some safe summer fun. We're talking about the LA Department of Rec and Parks Operation Splash, which just hit the pools this summer. Anna Marcos takes us to one opening party at a city pool in Glassell Park.
Operation Splash has just made its splashy entrance at pools throughout LA with the help of these elegant synchronized swimmers from the Department of Recreation and Parks' own swim teams.
It's helped me with my flexibility and my strength and courage.
Operation Splash is a free summer program that teaches kids in LA's low-income neighborhoods how to swim, have fun in the water, and stay safe.
I grew up a little bit around 9 and 10. I started taking my first swim lessons at Expo Center. That was pretty fun. I really liked that pool. Growing up in South LA, not too many people knew how to swim, especially in my area.
Thank you for supporting a program that allows all kids, no matter where they live, to have the opportunity to learn how to swim.
And I can definitely see the quality of life improving around our parks. And I hope the public sees it, and I hope that you enjoy all of our pools.
How about that? And for most of these girls, it all started with Operation Splash. The program hopes to give at least 36,000 kids swim lessons this summer. That's a lot of swimming.
I was afraid to do anything at all, really.
Water?
Yes. After the swim lessons, I thought maybe, hey, I could do it, you know.
It helps me survive, like if there's a flood. It helps me keep my body in shape.
The program has partnered with Kaiser Permanente and the LA 84 Foundation to get even more swim lessons out to the kids.
It saves lives not just through water safety, though. We save lives through getting people active, right? Heart health, losing weight, being more active.
After 13 years of summer fun, its former students are now synchronized swimmers, athletes, lifeguards, and who knows, maybe even a future Olympian or two.
The Olympics are coming back to Los Angeles in 10 short years, but those children that are 10 years old, that are 8 years old, that are learning to swim now, they're going to be at the prime age that they can chase that Olympic dream.
As if there weren't already enough reasons to make a big splash in the pool this summer. I'm Anna Marcos for LA This Week.
You can sign up for Operation Splash at swimla.org. New improvements on the I-110-405 interchange are getting underway. The LAPD and the LGBTQ community get together for a special evening, and Metro is one step closer to connecting all of its rail lines. All these stories in Citybeat. Mayor Eric Garcetti gave remarks at the groundbreaking celebration of the I-110-405 interchange improvement project. Garcetti said that LA County will grow by 500,000 people over the next decade and that the city needs to be prepared.
The improvements we're making are going to ensure that the demand that we have here, existing demand, is handled better and that we're better positioned for the future as well.
The LAPD and the LGBTQ community recently came together for the 4th annual LGBTQ Community Mixer at police headquarters. The purpose of the event is to unite leaders in the LGBTQ community with leaders at LAPD who are helping build bridges to make sure the department is serving and protecting our LGBT friends and loved ones.
LGBTQ officers 10 years ago could only dream of an event like this.
Metro held a community event at the Japanese American National Museum Plaza to celebrate construction progress on the Regional Connector Transit Project. The event featured live entertainment, art workshops, and family activities.
The future of Los Angeles is about rail, it's about public transportation as we continue to grow.
Angelenos with no medical insurance took advantage of free health screenings for a day, while those with coverage were able to avoid long lines at the clinic. Gil Reyes takes us to a senior health fair sponsored by the city.
Use it or lose it. Good advice for seniors on the importance of staying active and working those muscles in the golden years. At this health fair in Watts, older adults also took advantage of a number of free screenings, like blood pressure and thyroid testing, also mammograms.
I lost my Kaiser benefits a couple of weeks ago, so this way I'm able to get some eye exam for new glasses, and also I'm going to take the mammogram because it's so important that when you don't have benefits to take advantage of services like this.
The fair coincided with National Senior Health and Fitness Day and hosted by the LA City Department of Recreation and Parks.
You don't need to make an appointment. There's no long lines.
Leslie Richter from Rec and Parks urges people to take advantage of these rare city-backed checkups. She also did.
I found a 6-millimeter cyst on my thyroid on my right side, and they were very clear that I should reach out to my physician, and so that we could just keep an eye on it. So I thought that was really helpful because who knew?
Senior healthcare provider Humana sponsored the event. Sponsors make events possible, and more are needed to keep free, speedy, possibly life-saving services going in your area.
And so the call goes out for other healthcare providers and big businesses to sponsor future events such as this one. You can call Leslie Richter from the Department of Recreation and Parks. That's the number at the bottom of your screen, 213-485-7512. I'm Gil Reyes for LA This Week.
There are no more city-sponsored health fairs planned for any time soon, but organizations can change that by sponsoring the event. Cheer on the athletes or volunteer to help out at the Angel City Games, watch a movie under the stars at Griffith Park, or check out the biggest carnival and culture festival in LA. All this in this week's Things to Do. The City of Los Angeles Department on Disability is co-sponsoring the 2018 Angel City Games. The games feature clinics and competitions in track and field, wheelchair basketball, wheelchair tennis, swimming, and archery. Angel City Games takes place June 21st through the 24th at UCLA. Complete event information can be found at angelcitygames.org. Bring a picnic blanket and head over to the Autry South Lawn to watch the movie Clerks, projected onto the largest outdoor movie screen on the West Coast. The fun begins at 5:30 on Saturday, June 23rd. The Autry in Griffith Park is located at 4700 Western Heritage Way. As space is limited, reservations are recommended. For more, visit eatseehere.com. The Los Angeles Culture Festival and Hollywood Carnival are proud to present the annual Los Angeles Culture Festival. Hollywood Boulevard will transform into a grand carnival and street extravaganza. The fun takes place Saturday, June 23rd, between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. at Hollywood Boulevard and Normandy in Los Feliz. For more info, visit HollywoodCarnival.com. And that's a look at some things to do. Well, that's going to do it for this edition. I'm Yana Kane from all of us here at LA This Week. Thanks for joining us. A reminder that you can catch us online at lacitybee.org. You can also follow and like us on Facebook. We'll see you back here next week for more of LA This Week.